weather and sports you need, interesting interviews, and friendly conversation from two guys that go together like Scooby and Shaggy, Mike Will and Tyson Havronic.
Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Huddle Up here on Extreme Sports. Welcome to a Tuesday, the 14th day of April for 2026. Mike Will, Tyson Havronic, ready to start your day the right way. All of your news, weather, and sports that you need to get out the door here this morning. Price Sanford is returning to the Nebraska basketball team next year. We'll talk about that coming up on the show here today. Alexis Johnson of Nebraska has been named the Freshman of the Week in the Big Ten Conference after a superb week last week for the Nebraska softball team. The Nebraska baseball team going to be taking on Creighton tonight at Hawks Field in Lincoln. Hastings College baseball and softball teams, they've got basically the week off. They've got a lot of action coming up this weekend, though, with both teams playing 4 games this weekend. The Nebraska Kearney softball team, they played a doubleheader at Rogers State yesterday. We'll tell you how they did. The Eastern Midlands Conference Baseball Tournament is underway. Hastings High was in action against Gretna yesterday. We'll tell you about that coming up on the show today. Adams Central's baseball team, they're going to be in action today against the Seward Blue Jays out at Duncan Field. The game we'll have here on Extreme Sports beginning at 4:15 this afternoon. We had the WNBA draft. Does anybody care? We had a WNBA draft last night. 4 UCLA Bruins went in the first couple of picks up there in the WNBA draft yesterday. We'll tell you about that coming up. All in the show here today is the welcome in Tyson Havronic from the Western Studios. Good morning.
Yes, good morning. On the news front, we'll be talking about a standoff that occurred yesterday in Clay County. A 75-year-old man that got the tactical response unit called in on him. Kind of a unusual set of circumstances there. And then from there, we had a little bit of a house fire in Hastings. We'll update you on the status of 3 dogs that had to be rescued yesterday from Hastings Fire and Rescue. So much more coming up on the news front as we dive in. But I think we lead off with the big, kind of the best unkept secret yesterday in terms of Price Sanford. I think a lot of people knew he was going to be coming back. The conversations with Coach Hoiberg indicated he was going to be coming back. It certainly wasn't a surprise, but it's refreshing to see ink to paper on the official statement from Price Sanford that he is going to return to the Cornhuskers, and that's big with Frager coming back as well. 2 big pieces from that puzzle going to be playing next year for Fred. Yeah,
Sanford has got the hernia injury, so he's going to be going through surgery here in the next week or so, I think, is when they have the surgery scheduled. So Sanford is injured right now. He's received a lot of interest, evidently, from some NBA teams.
Oh, yeah.
But he's going to stay at Nebraska, sharpen up his game, and maybe jump to the NBA next year. But, yeah, he had 129 three-pointers for Nebraska this year, the most in program history. And Price Sanford coming back. You mentioned that Frager is coming back. They get the services of Sam Orm. He's the guy that we plucked from the transfer portal last week from Belmont. We're going to be hearing from him later on in the show today. So Fred's putting together another team that looks pretty good on paper for next season. Still got some time to get the pieces in place, but slowly but surely he's getting some guys to come in. I guess we're looking at Tyreek Coleman. He's going to be a guy. It's going to be on campus evidently today. He's from Illinois State. He's got 3 years of eligibility remaining. Tyreek Coleman averaged 10 points, 2.7 rebounds, 1.8 assists for the Red Hawks last year. That went to 23-13. They finished third in the Missouri Valley Conference, but Tyreek Coleman is expected to be on campus today for Nebraska. but we're going to be up against the likes of Kansas State, Utah State, and Iowa, who evidently have got interest in Tyreek Coleman, and he plans on visiting those campuses as well. But anyway, Tyreek Coleman could be the new name you're going to hear. Hopefully things go well with his visit in Lincoln today.
Yeah, I'm still looking for a few more pieces to this puzzle. Obviously, you want another big, you want another point guard to come, somebody that's going to be able to run the offense. I don't look at the transfer portal in terms of like our needs, and I don't look at it and saying, "Oh man, we need somebody that's just a point scorer that's going to go out and get us 25, 30 a game." Like, they exist, but they're ball hogs, and ball hogs don't work in the offense. And I'm looking at you, Bryce McGowan. That's why it didn't work. We need a guy that's going to dish and distribute the basketball and be able to run that. And so, like I said, I'm not looking for point totals. I just want somebody that's going to execute and be a monster defensively, very similar to what Sam was doing. And we'll see if we can't get another guard to come over. So,
all right, we'll get some comments again from Sam Orn coming up later on in the show today. The WNBA draft was held last night. Does anybody care? Ozzie Fudd, the number one choice. She was from UConn. She went to Dallas, and with that, she's going to receive a payday of $500,000 next year. That's kind of set in stone, the way they do things in the WNBA. First-round picks going to receive $500,000. So Ozzie Fudd is heading to Dallas. She'll be joining Paige Buchers at Dallas. She was a former college teammate there at UConn. So they're kind of grabbing and why not? UConn's been so good here the past couple of years. If you have a chance to get some of their top players, they go back-to-back years that Dallas had the number one pick, evidently. So they get Buchers last year, and they get Ozzie Fudd this year. So maybe Dallas can stay out of that number one spot in the draft with the Fudd and Buchers there.
Sure.
4 through 6 in the draft all went to UCLA players. Lauren Betts, Gabriella Jaquez, and Kiki Rice. They went 4, 5, and 6, all from UCLA. Bruins, of course, winning their first NCAA Women's College Basketball National Championship last week. And UCLA became the first team to have 5 first-round selections and the first team ever to have 6 players selected in one draft. So we knew UCLA was good, and they get 5 number one picks in the WNBA draft. So that's what happened last night with the draft. Speaking of basketball, North Carolina freshman Caleb Wilson is headed to the NBA draft. He is projected to go 4th in this year's draft in the star-studded 2026 class. So Caleb Wilson is leaving North Carolina. He averaged 19.8 points and 9.4 rebounds per game this year in a season that was kind of cut short by injury. First, he had a broken bone in his left hand days after a thrilling win against rival Duke. And then when he was on the verge of returning, he broke his right thumb in a non-contact drill to end his season on the eve of a second game against the Blue Devils. Anyway, North Carolina freshman Caleb Wilson headed to the NBA, and he's projected to go 4th in this year's draft. Bad news for ESPN Hall of Fame broadcaster Dick Vitale. He announced yesterday that he is fighting now melanoma in his lung and his liver cavity, and he's going to undergo therapy soon. Vitale, one of the big faces, prominent faces in men's college basketball on the ESPN, has battled 4 types of cancer in the past few years, and most recently underwent surgery in the summer of 2024 after a biopsy of a lymph node in his neck showed cancer. So Dick Vitale is undergoing therapy again following a nearly 2-year break to deal with his health. Vitale returned to broadcasting in February of last year after announcing that he was cancer-free. He just wrapped up his 46th year covering college basketball for ESPN, so we wish Dickie V good hopes there in battling cancer for the 5th time, I think he said.
God dang it. Guy can't catch a break, dude. It was so good to hear him again, too, this year. I mean, after a 2-year hiatus. And it's not college basketball without Dick Vitale, without the Oh Yeah babies and the Cameron crazies. And remember him getting body surfing with the student section, back in before the cancer diagnosis. And just loves the game, loves college basketball, loves everything about it. And his passion for that permeates through the microphone every time he talks, and it just gets you excited. So yeah, certainly gut punch to start off your morning with more cancer diagnosis for Dickie V.
402-834-1330 is our Hamilton Telecommunications fan line. You want to chime in with us? Some thoughts on anything you got going in your little mind in the sports-related business or not? Give us a shout out, 402-834-1330. You can leave a message or two on our social media sites as well. We're monitoring those comments throughout the morning. Got some St. Louis Cardinals news for you today. I saw this. I thought we better get this on the show today. So
Jordan Walker?
Yeah, Jordan Walker.
Dude.
Hit his major league leading 8th homer of the season last night. And that puts him amongst some greats in the St. Louis history with the homer in the 9-3 loss to the Cleveland Guardians last night. Walker became the 5th player in Cardinals history to hit at least 8 home runs in his first 16 games of the season, joining St. Louis standouts Stan Musial in 1954, Mark McGwire in 1998, Scott Rowland in 2004, and Albert Pujols in 2006. So Jordan Walker off to a good start for your St. Louis Cardinals. He's got 8 home runs in his first 16 games.
Man, yeah, he's been the bright spot. I wish that the rest of the team could follow suit. Especially looking at the bullpen. But yeah, Jordan Walker's on a tear, dude. And he's been, he got the start 3 years ago as an opening day rookie starter. Highly touted coming out. Was a first round draft pick. Put him right into the MLB roster. Didn't do a lot of MLB or minor league preparedness. I mean, the dude was ready to smash. And then management kind of screwed him over. Management wanted him to be more of a pull hitter, hit for average. He's one of those guys that, it's home run or bust with J-Dub. But 1 out of every 4 swings, he's going to mash one. And so just let the big dog eat. Quit screwing with this. It took him a good 2 years in the up and down in minors and majors to just realize that, hey, this guy's a beast. Just go let him eat. And when they finally stopped screwing with his swing, you can see the results. The dude's just crushing the ball. But yeah, it sounds great, right? Has tied to all those Cardinal greats: Stan the Man, Albert Pujols, Mark McGwire, Scotty Rowland. Sounds great, and then you're like in a 9-3 loss. We're not getting victories. We got a closer right now with an ERA of 17.43.
No.
That's an issue. So yeah, and I look up and down the minor league system and the farm system, and there's not really any arms we can bring up to help out the bullpen. We got Liam Doyle as a draft pick, but he's going to be a starter, and we're getting him prepped to fill a role in the starting rotation. And the starting rotation's not where the issues lie in St. Louis. It's innings 5 through 9 where we got a bullpen that's just beside themselves and in over their heads. So yeah. We have bright spots, and like I told you, there's going to be highlights throughout this season. There's going to be things to be excited about as Cardinal fans, but the win-loss record is not going to be among them. So Yeah, but though super good news for J-Dubs.
I wanted to pull that story out
Yeah,
so
I
you
appreciate
could toot your horn a little bit
Yeah,
with Jordan Walker.
it's a bright spot. It's definitely a highlight on the season. If you have not yet done so in fantasy baseball, go ahead and add him if he's on the waivers. He was still in the waivers on some of the leagues, even as of yesterday. And I was just scratching my head, like, how is that possible? So go ahead and scoop him up. He's going to be a safe play. He's going to get home runs and RBIs a lot this season for your fantasy baseball point totals. So good get.
All right, on the other side of the coin, Red Sox ace Garrett Crochet battered last night by the Minnesota Twins. 11 runs he gave up, 10 of them earned, 9 hits in 1 2/3 innings pitched during Boston's 13-6 loss last night. This guy is a 2-time All-Star. Finished second in the American League Cy Young Award voting last season. He became the first Red Sox pitcher to allow 10 runs in fewer than 2 innings. He got the job done in 1 2/3 innings. The 26-year-old left-hander gave up 4 runs, 3 earned in a 31-pitch first inning. Minnesota scored 7 more runs in the second inning before Crochet was removed with 2 outs and Boston trailing 11-0. So it happens.
I get that it happens, but at the same time, it should never happen.
Not to your ace.
Not to an ace, but also not to any member of any pitching staff ever. Like, I understand you want to go maximize innings and not strain your bullpen, and I understand there's a balance between that. I understand that you're also not going to go hook Garrett Crochet on the first slide of trouble because he is your ace, and throughout the course of the time when he's got the rock, he's generally pretty solid, so I understand that there's a little hesitation. But after 7, after 5, you can safely assume that he didn't have his best stuff.
Oh, he didn't have his best stuff after 1 2/3 innings.
Might be time to go yank him a little early so we don't get to that historic level of awfulness. You got to pull him earlier than that. And I'm sorry, like I know that
pull him earlier than 1 2/3 innings.
Yeah, if you give up 10 runs,
10 runs. He gave up what did I say? 9 hits in 1 2/3 innings.
Yeah,
gave up 11 runs. He allowed what? 10 runs in the first inning.
So you had 6 outs to get, and he could not get 6 outs, and he gave up 9 hits in those 6 outs. I mean, that's an astronomical,
pull him out of there.
Awful average. You got to get him out sooner. You got to be like, hey, listen.
After a couple of outs,
quick shower.
But you got your ace out there,
who's given up 9 hits in an inning and 2/3. Pull him sooner.
Anyway, Garrett Crochet had an awful night last night, while the St. Louis outfielder Jordan Walker had a pretty good night. Those are the highlights from Major League Baseball.
Those are your baseball headlines. If you put out a fire before it grows into, well, a disaster, if it's just a little spot fire and you take the fire hydrant out and you put it out, like, you prevent it from spreading and getting worse. What happened in Boston was an absolute flood. They didn't seal the flood quick enough. Seal the crack in the dam, and then it burst wide open. You got to be more preventative than that, and I understand. Like there's an argument to make, right? It's your ace. Don't go grab your ace that early. I'm not letting his ERA get inflated to that number, and we're not going to bury ourselves in the first 2 innings of a baseball game and be staring down 10-0 and might as well throw position players the rest of the way out. Like, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, 11-0 it got to be. That'd be big for a long game last night.
Oh, yeah.
11-0 in the second inning.
You can't check out for 7 innings of baseball.
I'm sure there would not be very many fans left in the stands after an 11-0 first couple of innings. So, Hopefully that doesn't happen tonight at Nebraska. The Nebraska baseball team, they're going to be playing Creighton tonight at Hawks Field. This will be the second meeting of the season between these two teams. Nebraska beat Creighton, I think it was back at the end of March.
Mm-hmm.
Beat them by the score of 6-5 in a game played at Charles Schwab in Omaha. So Nebraska 27-9 in the season after dropping 2 of 3 games to Oregon over the weekend, taking on the Creighton Blue Jays tonight. The Jays are 18-15 after taking 3 games from Seton Hall over the weekend.
Whew, big victories.
So I know it's a midweek game, and I know you're not into these midweek games, but this is an important game, I think.
I absolutely despise midweek games, and I understand that they're there for the RPI of these college baseball teams, and yeah, we need to get a W. We had the loss to Kansas. We had the 2 losses to Oregon. Quick check of the Baseball America Top 25 polls. Nebraska's nowhere to be found after what was kind of an abysmal week of baseball. So you gotta reverse course, but you can't really get into a rhythm either. These generally turn into Johnny Holstaff games where you're just getting some innings for some guys. You're not really approaching it with the same kind of intensity and attitude with your starting rotation that you would normally have for a weekend series. So, yeah, it's hard to get up and it's hard to get excited. And these midweek games are the ones that come and bite you in the ass because you're not rolling in with the ready weekend rotation. You might be mixing up the lineup a little bit. I don't think we're going to see too much to the offense tonight. But yeah, we'll see some guys that need to get quality innings for us tonight. And if we don't get those quality innings, these games can get out of hand in a hurry. And you know, the same can be said for the other side. They're dealing with the same kind of issue that we are, where you want to conserve your roster for the conference series, but at the same time, pivotal points on offer for a midweek victory. So you're right, it's a big game. I just hate the fact that it's sitting here in the middle of the week and we can't make some of these, like the Creighton series, the Omaha series. Why can't we make these a 3-game set and go over the weekend? Why do we have to put them in the middle of the week? I understand, breaks up the conference schedule a little bit, gets you an opportunity for some RPI points. I get it, but it just sucks. I hate midweek games.
Nebraska and Creighton, they play like 3 games throughout the year, but they're all midweek games. So, and the conference, the weekend schedule is pretty well filled up, full of conference stuff. So,
and at this point, yeah. I was thinking like earlier.
Yeah,
if we did earlier weekend series against our interstate rivals, maybe we wouldn't need as many midweek games. But then, yeah, that wouldn't work either. So, I get it. It's not going to change. I'm just going to bitch.
Nebraska and Creighton tonight at 6. You'll be able to see it tonight on BTN. We're going to have high school baseball later on today. Adams Central is going to take on Seward out of Duncan Field. Seward played Hastings High last week in a game we had, so now the Patriots will square off against the Blue Jays today. Seward, very good. They do a lot of small things right. You know, they bunt. They play the small ball. They sneak runners home from third base to score. They run the base pads well. Seward just does a lot of things right, and they're pretty good. They're sitting at 9-4 in the season of Class B opponents, taking on Adams Central today. The Patriots are sitting at 8-5. They're kind of stumbling here the past week or so. So we'll see if our boy Timmy Stroman can get the boys back on the winning track today. Adams Central 8-5. The Blue Jays 9-4. We'll have the game for you from Duncan. 4:30 will be the first pitch. 4:15 for the pregame show today here on Extreme Sports.
It's funny that you talk about Seward like that. In just terms of executing the small stuff and taking care of the fundamentals, because when you talk Legion baseball, and I talk with opposing coaches all the time about Hastings Legion baseball, I'm like, what do you see out of Hastings? You know, what's the strong suit? What's the thing that you most prepare for when you're taking on a Hastings team? And whether it's Kirby or the guys over in Kearney, some of the teams out further east, out in New York in that area, the Lincolns, they always talk about how well Hastings executes on the fundies, the fundamentals. small ball, bunting, being aggressive on the base paths, with the knowledge of not running into outs. When to go, when to execute hold plays defensively. That's always kind of been the moniker of the Hastings baseball teams on the Legion side. So, two similar, I would say similar teams in that aspect. Tim's a guy that's going to want to play small ball, that's going to want to manufacture runs, do it aggressively on the base paths. So it should be fun to watch two teams with a similar style of play go head to head. It might come down to pitching tonight.
Adams Central, a team that struggled a little bit at the plate scoring runs here in the last 10 days or so. Tim has shuffled the lineup a couple of times, and he told me over the weekend he's going to shuffle it again for today. So, anyway, trying to battle out of a mid-season slump here. Yeah, he was mentioning it was the day where the wind was blowing out and they hit a couple home runs, and then all of a sudden they wanted launch angle and exit velo, and they wanted to just smash it. If you go back to putting barrel on ball, getting base knocks, keeping the train moving, paying a bill, making a sacrifice fly when necessary, dragging a bunt down the line, maybe giving yourself out, but maybe you got the speed, the wheels to beat it out. Get back to playing fundamental Adams Central baseball, and I think you'll be just fine. They were in this exact same spot last year. They pulled up the records. This was the exact same spot they were in last year, and then they went on an absolute tear to end the season. So I'm not hitting the panic button on AC just yet. Hastings High baseball team, they opened up the Eastern Midlands Conference Tournament last night, losing to Gretna by the score of 9-3. And talking about a wacky bracket.
Oh, God.
I still don't know. I think Hastings has another game.
Does it get wackier than the Big Ten baseball tournament?
Yeah, it's along those lines.
Okay.
I don't know if...
You don't even know if we have a game.
I don't know when and where. I'm going to effort that after the show today to figure out when the hell does Hastings play next in the Eastern Midlands Conference Tournament.
Mm-hmm.
So they're out of the main bracket now. Now they drop down to the consolation bracket somewhere.
Go to the consolation ladder.
So I don't know when they play, but I'll effort that and I'll have that for you as soon as
and see, that should never come out of the words of a sports broadcaster. Hey, we're in this conference tournament. I don't know when they play. You shouldn't have a bracket that messy. If a guy that does sports for a living can't figure it out, you have an issue with the way your bracket is set up. If we have to go to page 3 and use it if necessary and draw lines and circles and use arrows, you have a bracket that's unacceptable. that's trash. That's file 13. Come to me for more bracket advice.
Yeah. I'm with you. So, anyway, Hastings did lose last night to Gretna 9-3. Adams Central playing this afternoon, 4:30 against Seward. Get you up to date on some high school baseball notes. Again, 402-834-1330 is our Hamilton Telecommunications fan line. We got some room to talk to you today. Give us a shout out, 402-834-1330. And taking your messages on our social media sites as you wake up and get going this morning. It's a Tuesday here on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
Well, a Clay County man is in custody after a domestic incident and an hour-long standoff in Harvard yesterday. Authorities say deputies responded early yesterday morning to a report of a protection order being violated involving 75-year-old Dennis Hatchell. Investigators say he left a threatening voicemail and later threatened to shoot a deputy while refusing to leave his home. The Central Nebraska Special Response Team with 2 special response vehicles were called in, and Hatchell eventually surrendered without incident. 75. He faces multiple charges, including terroristic threats and resisting arrest. Hastings Fire and Rescue responded to a house fire yesterday morning on East 9th Street. Officials say a resident returned home at around 11:10 in the morning to find the house filled with smoke and called for help. Crews brought the fire under control in about 15 minutes with damage estimated at around $40,000, mostly to the kitchen. 3 dogs lived in the house. Law enforcement rescued the first 2, pulling them out of the home, and then firefighters rescued the 3rd dog, who was transported by veterinarians. No injuries were reported, but 2 adults and 2 children were displaced. The Red Cross is assisting the family, and the cause of the fire remains under investigation. It is coming up on 7:31. We'll head over to the East Side Studios. Mike, what's the haps in sports?
Well, as I mentioned, Bryce Sanford returning to the Nebraska men's basketball team next year. Sanford helped lead the team to its first NCAA tournament win this year in a Sweet 16 appearance. He transferred to Nebraska after 2 years at Iowa and had a breakout season in which he earned Associated Press All Big Ten second team honors. He averaged 18.1 points per game. His 129 threes were the most in program history. Alexis Johnson of Nebraska has been named the Freshman of the Week in the Big Ten Conference. In the circle, Johnson went 2-0 with a shutout last week. She struck out 13 batters while walking only 4 across 11 innings. Her opponents had a batting average of .083, and she allowed only 3 hits last week. Offensively, she hit .333 with 3 hits and 3 RBIs. The Nebraska baseball team will play host to Creighton today at Hawks Field. The Huskers are 27-9 after dropping 2 and 3 games to Oregon over the weekend. The Blue Jays are 18-15 after sweeping 3 games from Seton Hall. Nebraska beat Creighton 6-5 earlier this year in Omaha. First pitch will be at 6 on BTN. Hastings College baseball and softball teams will be off until this weekend. The baseball team will play a 4-game series with Doane on Saturday and Sunday out at Duncan Field. The softball team will be on the road this weekend. The Broncos will play at Northwestern on Friday and at Briar Cliff on Saturday. The Nebraska Kearney softball team dropped a doubleheader to Rogers State yesterday, 7-6 and 6-0. The Lopers are now 13-20. They are 2-12 in the MIAA. They'll play host to Central Oklahoma and Newman University coming up this weekend at Dryden Park. Hastings High baseball team lost to Gretna 9-3 yesterday in the first round of the Eastern Midlands Conference Tournament. The Dragons scored 7 runs in the 5th inning. Peyton Drake was the losing pitcher. He gave up 8 runs on 4 hits with 7 strikeouts and 6 walks in 4 2/3 innings. Clayton Arlt had 2 hits and 2 RBIs. The Tigers are now 4-9 on the season. The Adams Central baseball team will play Seward today at Duncan Field. Patriots are 8-5 on the season. The Blue Jays are 9-4. First pitch will be at 4:30. We'll have the game today on Extreme Sports, beginning with a pregame show at 4:15. In some baseball yesterday, Central City Centura was involved with a triangular with Fairbury and Aurora. Central City Centura beat Fairbury 16-4, and they beat Aurora 12-0. Aurora got by Fairbury in the other game 3-0. Some other games yesterday, Wayne defeated Holdridge 11-1, and York beat Twin River by the score of 10-1. That's a check on your sports headlines coming up on 7:34 on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning weather update on Extreme Sports with Chief Meteorologist Tim Jones.
Tuesday brings another warm day with the high around 80 degrees. It'll be slightly breezy with winds gusting to 20 miles per hour and just an outside chance of a shower and thunderstorm in the afternoon. Overnight tonight, we'll have a low right around 50 degrees. We'll have also a chance for some passing showers. 73 and mostly cloudy on Wednesday. More chances for showers. 47 Wednesday night and 82 and sunny on Thursday. That's a check of your forecast. Have a great day.
Right now in Hastings, we've got north winds at 10. We've got partly cloudy skies, and it's 54 in Hastings at Extreme Sports.
Hi guys, this is Justin Consrick with Adam Marshall Land and Auction. Just want to talk to you about how we do things. I talk to farmers every day. A lot of guys just want a simple, honest way to sell equipment. That's why I work with Adam Marshall Land and Auction. We know the equipment, we know the buyers. We run real auctions with no buyer's fees, which brings in more bidders and stronger results. From one machine to the full lineup, we handle marketing, the details, the sales start to finish. We're just real people with real auctions, real results. If you're thinking about auctioning equipment, reach out and give me a call at 308-991-5429.
I'm John Butler, funeral director and owner at Livingston Butler Volland Funeral Home and Cremation Center in Hastings.
And I'm Nikki Butler, the Advanced Funeral Planning Specialist. Whether you choose a traditional service, cremation, or a unique memorial service, our experienced staff is here to help guide you through every step. Visit us at lbvfh.com to learn more about our services and how we can support you.
Livingston Butler Volland Funeral Home and Cremation Center. We are here when your need is greatest.
If you're looking to buy or sell a home, see the professionals at North Shore Real Estate of Hastings. Real estate is one of the largest and most exciting investments you can make, and the folks at North Shore Real Estate are here to make sure the process is a fun and rewarding one. They serve Hastings, Harvard, Blue Hill, Kennesaw, and several other communities within a 35-mile radius of Hastings. They'll give you the guidance and support you need throughout the entire buying or selling experience. Give them a call at 402-461-6930 or stop in at 100 North Shore Drive in Hastings. North Shore Real Estate. Excellent agents, outstanding results.
When your family feels protected under our roof, they are free to dream, and you can get a personalized rate based on how you drive. Customize what you pay with Drive My Way, American Family Insurance. Give Matthew a call at 308-389-9124 or stop in at 204 North Walnut Street in Grand Island.
Hamilton has been providing IT solutions for businesses across the state of Nebraska for more than 3 decades. We know that Nebraska businesses are a driving force of support for the communities in which we live and work. We keep them connected and protected by delivering cybersecurity, hosted phones, and managed IT. We are grateful to be part of our Nebraska communities and to support their technology needs.
More information at Hamilton.
Get ready for the ultimate trivia experience with Extreme Sports Trivia. Play from anywhere at home, on the go, or at your favorite bar or restaurant. Compete live against players from all over in real time, answering questions across categories like sports, pop culture, Marvel, and more. Want to see how you stack up? Track your progress with live leaderboards and aim for the top spot. It's free, fun, and super easy to play. So what are you waiting for? Sign up today at extremesports.com trivia and start playing now. And keep an eye out. We're coming soon to a bar or restaurant near you.
All right, Mike Willenstein and Veronica with you. This is Huddle Up on Extreme Sports for a Tuesday, the 14th day of April, 2026.
I have a question.
I might have an answer for you.
You're going to Duncan today?
I'm going to Duncan today, yes.
You want to give me directions on how to get there?
Yeah.
For this weekend? It's kind of a nightmare.
Yeah, they're starting to work on the roundabout and the Highway 6 project.
Mm-hmm.
You kind of go in the back way to get to the parking lots.
You got to go through like the old hitting cage driveway.
Go through there. If you've got a four-wheel drive vehicle that you have access to, you might want to throw the equipment in the back of the four-wheel drive vehicle and get to Duncan Field.
It's kind of creating an adventure for baseball fans.
Allow some extra time. And I was talking that with some people last week.
Mm-hmm.
This is just the start of a 2-year project.
Yeah.
So get used to it.
It's not going away anytime soon.
No, all the activity around Duncan Field is only going to get worse. There's nothing like enjoying a baseball game with the sound of jackhammers in the background.
I used to bitch about the trains.
Oh, and then you got those. So you got the trains on one side. And, now you got the jackhammers and all the. You got that going on the other side. The road graders. Boop, boop, boop. And then, here comes a train by.
Let's just say we are well seasoned for distractions in baseball games.
Well, you got to be focused.
You got to be locked in.
Yeah, if you're a player, you got to be focused.
Oh God, I couldn't imagine holding like the little kids, the A and the B, the city ball that used Duncan for their championship games. Oh, they'd have distraction timeouts every. I did 8U baseball. Okay, 8-year-olds.
Yeah.
There was
attention span of about 10 seconds.
Yeah, there was in-game real situations in games, especially when I took my Hastings bunch out to the Metro, and this was the first time they'd been that close to an airport with planes that land that fly pretty low, and every time a plane would come over the infield, I would have to go out of the dugout, both hands in the air, time, because I had 3 outfielders that were staring up at the sky, watching the airplane, not watching the baseball game. And I'm like, all right, airplane timeout. The Metro was looking at me like, what in the hell are these guys?
The scene from Hastings?
What are these guys doing? They've never seen an airplane before. I had to call airplane timeouts.
Oh, God.
It's a real thing. There's a lot of activity, construction-wise. And on that note, like, there's ways to get to Duncan Field. And in specifics, there's ways to get to the deli. Like, a lot of people are really concerned with their business being right there on the corner. You got the automotive shop, Andy, with Eldon's right there on the corner. A lot of people are concerned, oh man, they're going to lose a lot of business. They're going to lose there's available ways to get into those businesses. So
they all
don't fret and like, don't just not support them because you're slightly inconvenienced.
There's access to all of them.
Miscues, exactly.
Miscues down.
Yep, they're down on the road. Yep,
just close to Duncan Field. There's access to all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Just be patient.
Yep.
I say that, but it's going to be 2 years.
I say that knowing very well that I'm not going to be patient.
No. When you go over there, you're going to be yelling and screaming.
F-bombs.
God, this road's closed too?
It's a nice way to, like, get mentally prepared for a baseball game is starting with 5 F-bombs in the car.
Patience.
It's not a virtue I have.
I know.
You know me.
Yeah. Let's talk quickly. Sam Orm.
Yeah, our transfer.
He was the kid from Belmont that is going to transfer to Nebraska. We plucked him out of the transfer portal last week. He's going to be joining the Nebraska team next year. Anyway, we got a chance to hear some thoughts from him yesterday. Sam Orn talked about why he made the choice about joining Nebraska.
I watched a lot of Big Ten games this year, and they were pretty high on that list of teams that I watched the most. And I feel like their system fits me to a T, just kind of 5 out, a lot of spacing, a lot of threes. And I know Coach Hoiberg's an amazing coach, and if I want to get to the NBA, he's the guy that's going to get me there.
And Sam says his time spent at Belmont was beneficial.
So my freshman year, my freshman year, I had hip surgery and redshirted that year. So that was a pretty big developmental year for me, just being able to see the college game like from the sidelines and just being ready for the next year. And then the 2 years that I did play, just stepping into a bigger role the second year has really helped me develop. And I mean, we had some pretty good teams. We run similar offense to Nebraska, a lot of 5-out spacing, a lot of threes. So it's been good the past 3 years.
And Sam is more than just a offensive player too.
Yeah, one of the main emphases from Coach Hoiberg was just being a good positional defender and just having pretty good instincts on the defensive end and being able to guard multiple positions, just being in the right spot.
And he watched Nebraska in their postseason run. He says the atmosphere down in Oklahoma City for one of those regional games was awesome. He's looking forward to maybe playing in a similar crowd someday.
Yeah, absolutely. Just talking to Coach Hoiberg, he said that was probably the loudest game that he's ever coached or been a part of. And I saw on social media, Coach Byington said the same thing. So just being in that type of environment is going to be awesome.
All right, so there he is, the latest pluck out of the transfer portal, Sam Orn from Belmont University. He's going to be joining us for next year. Again, we're hosting another player today from Illinois State, Tyreek Coleman. We'll see how that goes today. So, Husker basketball. It's not many times that we talk Husker basketball, and we're really concentrating on it here in the month of April.
I'd harbor to say this. I'll throw this out there. I think there's more excitement in the offseason for Husker basketball based on the success that we just came off of than we are excited for the start of the football season. I'll be honest, as much as we are a football school and a football state, the excitement seems to be centering around what is Hoiberg going to do to get us back to where we just got to and move a little further. How can we continue this ride, this dynasty that he is starting to build? And yeah, there's a lot of eyeballs and a lot of excitement for a lot of good reasons. And that's what you do when you're a successful program. So yeah, excited to see Tyreek in his visit today and maybe add one more piece before the window closes to a shut and start preparing and building for next year. Yeah.
Getting to work.
Get to work.
Anyway, Sam is expected to make his official visit, I guess, to Nebraska here in the next week or so, and then he'll be back in June and start working out with the guys. So that was his timeline that he kind of set up yesterday.
Sure.
The NBA, we talked about this yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
NBA starts their confusing postseason tonight. A couple of play-in games. Miami playing at Charlotte, Portland at Phoenix. And then tomorrow, there's going to be a couple of more play-in games. Orlando and Philadelphia and Golden State at the Los Angeles Clippers. So 4 play-in games, and then they'll decide where all these teams go to play in the first round officially of the NBA postseason. So we played the 82-game regular season schedule. Now we've got 4 play-in games to get to the tournament, and then Friday, the real stuff begins. So we were talking about brackets and tournaments earlier. The NBA bracket is as confusing as ever, trying to figure out where all these teams are going to go after they win the play-in game. These are only like one-game series.
Yeah. How many of these teams, do you have their records pulled up?
I don't have them pulled up.
I'm just curious how many of these teams that you mentioned that are playing have winning records. I think that should be a standard. If you're making the postseason, that you should at least have a winning record. Let's see. Rattle off some of those again.
All right, Miami and Charlotte tonight.
Miami and Charlotte. Miami's 4 games above 500. Charlotte's 6 games above 500.
And then the late game tonight will pit Portland up against Phoenix.
The Trailblazers are 42-40 on the season. The Suns are 45-37, a little better.
All right, so those are the 2 games tonight.
Did you say Golden State?
They play tomorrow.
They have a record of 37-45. They are 8 games under the 500 mark.
And they play the Los Angeles Clippers tomorrow in the second game,
who are 42-40.
And then you got Orlando and Philadelphia playing in the first game tomorrow.
The East appears to be okay.
The East is all right.
So they take 10 from each conference. There's only 15 teams in the Western and Eastern conferences.
So there's only
10. They take 10 of each conference.
That's 20.
Yeah, there's 20 teams in the postseason. So the bottom 4, 7, 8, 9, playing these little play-in games.
So that just leaves 10 teams that's out of the tournament altogether.
I think the play-in games are like its own little play-in playoff, and then you take the top 2 to make it 8. I'm guessing. I don't know because I don't watch the NBA, but I'm just looking at the standings and the color coding
how
system.
How many teams are there total?
30.
So there's 30 teams.
And 20 make the postseason.
So there's only 10.
2/3.
That don't make the so-called tournament.
That's correct.
All right, that makes sense to me.
It does, but it doesn't.
Yeah, you play 82 games and you eliminate 10 teams.
You're telling me that regular season games don't matter.
Just inch your way in.
Yep. Just get in.
Make your guys all healthy and rested. And now the season begins.
So why are you playing 82 games?
Yeah, you're playing 82 games.
Yeah, why do you play 82 if your mission is to only alleviate yourself of 1/3 of your field? 82 games is a long way to get to that number.
Yeah, a lot of travel.
That's trash.
A lot of games.
That's straight file 13 that stuff. That's awful.
Get rid of 10 teams, and now we play this little mini tournament to get in. So 2 more teams will be eliminated, I guess, out of this thing.
Dumb.
And then the season will get underway as far as the postseason on Friday. So that's what's going on in the NBA here today.
I'm gonna poo-poo it. I'm gonna call it dumb.
You can call it what you want.
That's
NBA
what it is.
playoffs are officially underway tonight.
My interest level is the exact same regardless of whether I poo-poo it or not. I'm still not watching it.
We'll let you know who won tomorrow.
I appreciate that.
All right. 7:51, waking up with Mike and Tyson here this morning. This is Huddle Up on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
We start in Clay County, where a Clay County man is in custody after a domestic incident and an hour-long standoff in Harvard yesterday. Authorities say deputies responded yesterday morning to a reported protection order violation involving 75-year-old Dennis Hatchell. Investigators say he left a threatening voicemail and later threatened to shoot a deputy while refusing to leave his home. The Central Nebraska Special Response Team with 2 special response vehicles were called in, and Hatchell eventually surrendered without incident. He faces multiple charges, including terroristic threats and resisting arrest. Meanwhile, Hastings Fire and Rescue responded to a house fire yesterday morning on East 9th Street. Officials say a resident returned home at around 11:15 to find the house filled with smoke and called for help. Crews brought the fire under control in about 15 minutes, with damage estimated to around $40,000, mostly in the kitchen. 3 dogs lived in the house. Law enforcement officers were able to rescue the first 2 dogs, pulling them out of the home. Firefighters rescuing the third, who was transported by veterinarians. No injuries were reported, but 2 adults and 2 children were displaced. The Red Cross is assisting the family, and the cause of the fire remains under investigation. It is now 7:53. We'll head over to the East Side Studios. Mike, what's going on in sports?
Yeah, the Hastings High baseball team, they lost to Gretna 9-3 yesterday in the first round of the Eastern Midlands Conference Tournament. The Dragons scored 7 runs in the 5th inning. Peyton Drake was the losing pitcher. He gave up 8 runs on 4 hits with 7 strikeouts and 6 walks in 4 2/3 innings. Clayton Arnold had 2 hits and 2 RBIs. The Tigers are now 4-9 on the season. The Adams Central baseball team will play Seward today at Duncan Field. The Patriots are 8-5 on the season. The Blue Jays are 9-4. First pitch will be at 4:30. We'll have the game on Extreme Sports, beginning with the pregame show at 4:15. The Nebraska Carney softball team dropped a doubleheader to Rogers State yesterday, 7-6 and 6-0. The Lopers are now 13-20. They are 2-12 in the MIAA. They'll play host to Central Oklahoma and Newman University coming up this weekend. at Dryden Park in Kearney. Hastings College baseball and softball teams will be off until this weekend. The baseball team will play a 4-game series with Doane on Saturday and Sunday at Duncan Field. The softball team will be on the road. The Broncos will play at Northwestern on Friday and at Briar Cliff on Saturday. The Nebraska baseball team will play host to Creighton tonight at Hawks Field. The Huskers are 27-9 after dropping 2 of 3 games to Oregon over the weekend. The Blue Jays are 18-15 after sweeping 3 games from Seton Hall. Nebraska beat Creighton 6-5 earlier this year in Omaha. First pitch will be at 6 on BTN. Alexis Johnson of Nebraska has been named the Freshman of the Week in the Big Ten Conference. In the circle, she went 2-0 with a shutout last week. Struck out 13 batters, walked only 4 across 11 innings. Her opponents had a batting average of .083, and she allowed only 3 base hits. Offensively, she got the job done. She hit .333 with 3 hits and 3 RBIs, and Price Sanford is returning to Nebraska. He helped lead the team to its first NCAA tournament victory this year, and his Sweet 16 appearance. Averaged 18.1 points per game and has 129 three-pointers, with the most in program history. That's a check in your sports headlines at 7:56 on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning weather update on Extreme Sports with Chief Meteorologist Tim Jones.
Tuesday brings another warm day with the high around 80 degrees. It'll be slightly breezy with winds gusting to 20 miles per hour and just an outside chance of a shower and thunderstorm in the afternoon. Overnight tonight, we'll have a low right around 50 degrees. We'll have also a chance for some passing showers. 73 and mostly cloudy on Wednesday. More chances for showers. 47 Wednesday night and 82 and sunny on Thursday. That's a check of your forecast. Have a great day.
We've got north winds this morning at 10 miles per hour. It's partly cloudy, 54 in Hastings at Extreme Sports.
Trouble's brewing at Elbow Bend, and somebody's about to get fleeced. This is Mick with Miletta Vista Winery announcing our mystery dinner tickets are now on sale for the Golden Fleecing, Wild West Murder Mystery. So get your tickets at Miletta Vista Winery's events page. Come dressed as your best cowboy or saloon girl garb. Enjoy a great meal, a glass or two of hooch, and help solve the crime before the night's over. But watch your back, buddy. The outlaw might be sitting at your table. The Golden Fleecing Mystery Dinner at Miletta Vista Winery, March 28th, April 18th.
Connet Auto Care is the trusted name in automotive repair and maintenance services in Hastings. We're a gold-certified Napa Auto Care Center. Our ASE-certified technicians have the Blue Seal of Excellence, receive continuous training, and are committed to providing the best service your vehicle can get. Whether it's preventative maintenance, major repairs, or just an oil change, Connet Auto Care is here for you.
The key to a thriving community is a good foundation. And for over 75 years, Hastings Federal Credit Union has been building and supporting Hastings and the surrounding areas, providing the support for new cars to keep you on the road, new homes to give you a place to land, or help with whatever life throws your way. With easy access via online banking or our mobile app, it's never been easier to have your financial dreams at your fingertips. Come see us at Hastings Federal Credit Union to start your banking journey today.
Looking for the perfect spot before or after the game? Head to Miscue's Sports Bar and Grill in Hastings. Choose from your favorite sandwich or build your own burger or chicken sandwich just the way you like it. Your choice of cheese, sauces, and all your favorite toppings. Craving wings? Choose from over 20 sauces and rubs that bring the flavor every time. Grab an appetizer, catch the game on the big screens, or challenge your friends to a game of pool or darts. There's always something to do. And don't forget the daily lunch specials. Miscue's Sports Bar and Grill, 316 South Elm. Great food, great games, and the perfect hangout in Hastings.
When it comes to protecting what matters most, you need a team you can trust. At Jones Group Insurance in Kennesaw, they're committed to helping individuals, families, and businesses plan for today and prepare for tomorrow. From home, auto, and farm insurance to life coverage and retirement planning, the Jones Group takes the time to understand your goals and build a plan that fits your future. Local service, personalized guidance, trusted protection. Call Jones Group Insurance today and experience the difference a hometown team can make.
All right, Mike Will, Tyson and Veronica with you. It's Huddle Up on Extreme Sports for this Tuesday. Again, we'll have some baseball coming up today here on Extreme Sports. Adams Central and Seward from Duncan Field. 4:30 for the first pitch today. 4:15 pregame show. So join us for Adams Central baseball versus Seward coming up today here on Extreme Sports. This being the day before the tax deadline, a lot of people are probably scrambling to their tax accountants.
Let's not bring it up.
I'm bringing this up because you voiced, as we got together this morning, you kind of voiced your disapproval of this being.
Yeah, well, I just generally voiced my disapproval when you pay a tax consultant X number of dollars to tell him for him to tell you how much you owe the government.
Yeah, you got to.
It doesn't really feel like a fair transaction. There was no return of my investment to go to a tax professional.
Here's your bill for $300, and oh, by the way,
could have wadded up the numbers, and the government's in such disarray right now. I kind of thought about just skipping this year and figuring out if the IRS was going to miss me. But no, we paid in, and we're set.
You're happy about it?
No, yeah, I'm just
you're thrilled,
smiling ear to ear, man. You work your ass off for 11 months out of the year to get screwed by the government. I mean, what are we doing? What are we doing with ourselves? I work too damn hard.
It looks like I need to get you
pay
some more
this
hours.
much. Work too damn hard to pay this much in taxes every year.
I need to maybe get you some more hours.
I don't have an hour to give anybody anymore. I have no hours in this schedule, man. I have enough time trying to flex 3 as it is. And then what is my reward for busting my ass? $1,600 check to the federal government. Kiss my ass.
Wow. I didn't.
I hate this time of year. This is so stupid.
This is a bad time of the year for you.
You get everybody else, Joe Schmo, and all these people that were smart and had kids to get a return, and they're all talking about, oh, what are you going to do with your tax return? What are you going to do with your tax return? You take your tax return and shove it up your hip. I don't care.
But the tax deadline is tomorrow to file your taxes. So we'll have baseball today at 4:15, Adams Central and Seward. If you'd like to listen to the show again, you can go to our podcast section of any one of our social media sites and listen to Tyson go off. Yeah, you went off a couple of times today.
There's a couple of things that tripped the trigger this morning.
A couple of times.
Yeah, you bring up taxes and NBA. It's like 2 things that are sure to get my blood to boil a little bit.
Yeah, I do it in the last half hour of the show.
Right.
Almost back to
back.
back.
Have a good day.
Almost back to back, I did that for you.
Super salty.
Anyway, we'll be back again tomorrow morning at 7, Huddle Up on Extreme Sports. Now I can say, have a good day.
You've been listening to Huddle Up on Extreme Sports, Central Nebraska's new home for sports. Join us every weekday morning from 7 until 8 on Extreme Sports.